In this lesson, we have two objects. The first object, block A, having a mass of 3 kilograms, moving at a speed of 12 meters per second to the right, collides with this object, which is a block of mass 7 kilograms, moving at a speed of 8 meters per second to the left. And after the collision, the two objects collide, and after the collision, block A moves with a speed of 6 meters per second to the left, and block B have an unknown velocity. So we are asked to calculate this unknown velocity for the first question. So what we're going to do, we're going to write our data down, because we have a whole lot of information, a whole lot of velocities and masses. So it's best that we write each and every known information and unknown information down, so that we can know what to calculate. So another thing that we need to bear in mind is that we have to choose a sign for direction. In our case, we have taken the right to be positive. So make sure that you do this first. Even if we would have taken left to be positive, it wouldn't matter. The answers would be the same. But it's always wise to take right to be positive, and then left would be negative, just to conform to that Cartesian coordinate kind of a system. Okay, so we're going to write our data down. The first thing that we're going to write is the mass A, which is this object, block A, having a mass of 3 kilograms. And then we have the initial velocity of this block, which is 12 meters per second, bearing in mind the sign. It's going to the right, it's going to be positive here. And then we have the final velocity of this object A, which is here, it's 6 meters per second. We give it a negative because now it is now moving to the left. And then we go for mass B, having the block B having the mass of 7 kilograms. And then we have the initial velocity of block B, which is negative 8 meters per second. It's negative because it's moving towards the left. And then we don't know what is its final velocity. So we know all these values, and we don't know this value. So what we're going to do is that for us to know, to calculate the velocity, the final velocity of block B, we are going to use the principle of conservation of linear momentum. So the principle of conservation of linear momentum tells us that the total sum, this shorthand, this symbol, it's sigma. It means a sum of. That means we are adding the sum of all the momentum, the initial momentum. This I stands for initial momentum, and then P is a symbol for momentum. So it is the sum of the entire momentum initially, and the sum of all the momentums finally must remain constant. That means it has to stay the same. That's the principle of conservation of linear momentum. So that's what we're going to apply here. And then when we look at this, we have the sum of the initial momentum and the sum of the final momentum. What is momentum? Mass times velocity. So we have mass times velocity of block A, and the mass times the velocity of block B. This will be the total linear momentum initially, and then this will be the momentum of object, of block A, the final momentum, plus the final momentum of block B. And then what we do, we just substitute. We have the mass of A, which is 3, its initial velocity, which is 12. We have the mass of block B, which is 7, and its initial velocity, which is negative 8. The mass of A is 3, its final velocity is negative 6, and then the mass of B is 7. We don't know its final velocity, so we write it as it is, as our known. Clicking all of this into our calculator, we get that it's negative 20, and then this will give us negative 18, and then this will be just 7 times VBF. We transpose this negative 18 to the other side, it becomes positive. We just drop this negative 20, and this one we just drop it as it is, and then from the 18 minus 20 will give us negative 2. We divide both sides by 7 so that we can have the final momentum, the final velocity of block B to be negative 2 over 7, and then negative 2 over 7 is just negative 0.28 meters. Since we said negative, it's going to be negative. I mean positive is to the right, negative is going to be it is going to be the left. So the final velocity of block B is going to be 0.28 meters to the left, because velocity is a vector quantity. It must have the magnitude, which is this is the magnitude, the size, and the direction, which is to the left. So we've answered the first part of this question. Let's answer the second part of the question, which says that we have to calculate the magnitude of the net force acting on the block or on block A if the collision lasted for 0.68 seconds. So when they collided during their contact time, the time it took during their collision, the time it took when these objects were together, we are told that that time is 0.68 seconds. So we need to calculate the force that each object exerted on each other. We know that according to Newton's third law, as these objects are in contact, they are going to exert the same amount of force on each other, but in opposite directions. So for us to know that amount of force, we are going to apply the formula for impulse. The formula for impulse tells us that that force, the net force, times the time. This is the impulse. This is how we can calculate the impulse. If we know the net force that these objects were in contact, that they applied on each other when they were in contact, and the time it took when they were in contact, the product is the impulse. At the very same time, the impulse can also be calculated by this formula, which is just the formula for change in momentum. And then from there we substitute all known values. We write F net as it is because we don't know that formula, we don't know that value, so that's what we want to calculate. The time that these objects were in contact is 0.68. The mass for object A, because they said that the magnitude of the net force acting on block A, so we are going to use the mass for A. The final velocity for A, which is 6 meters per second, and the initial velocity for A, which is it's 12 meters per second. This negative comes from this formula. The initial velocity for object A is positive, and then when we multiply these two, it will give us 0.68 F net. This whole thing will give us negative 54. To get F net, we divide both sides by 0.68, and then we get that our net force is negative 79.41 newtons. The sign means to the left, so the net force is going to be 79.41 newtons to the left, which is true. If you want the force on object A, it has to be exerted towards the left. So object B will exert this amount of force on object A towards the left, and then it will cause a change in momentum in object A. At the very same time, object B will also experience a change in momentum when A exert this force, but in the opposite direction, which is a positive force towards the right. So this is how we solve these problems. I hope it wasn't confusing and it was clear.